So President Trump, as you guys know, was teasing starting his own social media company. That was a lie. He wasn't starting his own social media company. He was starting his own blog for just him. And he made it look like Twitter. So that's what he did. Have some not so great news for Trump and his folks now. Communications platform update. Trump's new blog has gotten a total of 212,000 engagements, likes, shares, and comments across Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Reddit. Context: a single Trump tweet used to be liked and retweeted hundreds of thousands of times. Guys, 212,000 engagements is nothing. So to put that in perspective, I tweeted a bunch of things the other night, but a bunch of it was on what's happening in Israel-Palestine, what's unfolding in the Middle East right now. One of those tweets got 811,000 impressions. Here, I'll pick another random tweet on my timeline where I'm making fun of Stephen Colbert. Let me go to the analytics, if I can find how to do that while I'm live on air talking to you guys. Here we go. View tweet activity. 131,600 on this one. So Trump got 212,000 across all of social media for his new blog. One secular talk tweet, and this one isn't even a high-performing one, is almost equal to that. And a high-performing one far surpassed it because it had 811,000 impressions. He is effectively talking to himself. He was president of the United States, and now he's talking to himself. And his stuff doesn't get nearly as much coverage anymore in the press. Some of it does, but a lot of it doesn't. And so, listen, the conclusion from this is an uncomfortable one. The conclusion is, if the point of deplatforming is to just make somebody incredibly fringe and less relevant, oh, it definitely works. Now, I want to be careful because I don't support deplatforming. I believe it's wrong in principle. But in terms of what happens is they become much less relevant. What happens is they sort of fade away into the ether, into the abyss. So it sort of worked if that was their goal. But that really does go to show you how powerful these social media companies are. And Trump, the guy who was the president of the United States, tried to come up with his own thing to go around them. Not even close to making a tiny dent on the reach he used to have. So if they decide you're donezo, you're donezo. If even the former president of the United States, one of the most famous people on the planet, if not the most famous person on the planet, if he couldn't overcome all the social media companies expelling him, nobody can. So, damn. Now, of course, that precedent that's set of being able to totally give people the internet death penalty, that is a terrible precedent. And everybody's going to come to regret it when it goes after people you like. But it is also true at the same time that U.S. politics will probably be better off because this guy will probably be way less relevant. You know, if he was still on Twitter, if he was still on Facebook, if he still had that sort of reach, you might not even, you shouldn't even have the next Republican primary for president. Shouldn't even have it because he's going to win so overwhelmingly. It's like 95% on his side. Now, even without him being on all these platforms, he would still, I think, win, but it would be more like 60% instead of 95%. But it really shows you how powerful these outlets are. It really is astounding when you think about it. He's now talking to himself. I'll tell you, I used to see his tweets all the time. I used to cover a lot of his tweets. Now I don't see any. The only time I see any of the things he's saying, his like fake tweets, is when some news outlet covers him, when it's something particularly noteworthy. But most of the time, it's just, snooze fest. I'm not looking over there. I'm not going to Trump's fucking website to try to see his fake tweets. It's ridiculous. So that's what's happening. And what does that say about the rest of the Republican Party, too? That even with him with both hands tied behind his back, he's still by far and away the favorite going into the next Republican primary. Like, how big of a cuck is Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley and Nikki Haley and the rest of them that they can't hold a candle to this guy, and he's got both of his hands tied behind his back? God, he out-alpha-mailed them in the saddest way.